The jealousy is real. The jealousy is real. And I'm not just talking about the overwhelming jealousy that dump divers in the WNBA feel towards the roof from Waterloo. I'm starting to wonder, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, I'm starting to wonder if there's a little bit of jealousy, maybe a little bit of resentment that is building towards Angel Reese.
Angel Reese pulled up to the WNBA All-Star festivities like it was her personal crowning moment, expecting fanfare and adoration, but what she got instead was cold benches, blocked shots, and the kind of rejection that echoes. It felt less like a celebration and more like a crash landing. The league's elite weren't laying out a red carpet, they were giving side eyes and shrugging her off like an unwanted RSVP. It was the brutal reality of TikTok fame colliding with actual basketball royalty, and spoiler alert, it didn't end in applause. From frosty glances to blatant exclusion, this wasn't an all-star welcome party, it was an open roast, and Reese didn't even know she was the main course. Buckle in, this wasn't just messy, it was publicly unraveling in real time.
Goes. She finished 5th overall in fan voting, 10th among all voting once you factored in, but only 12th among the media and the players. So the players actually rated Caitlin Clark higher than Angel Reese, which I think is interesting, although certainly it's deserved. But I will say, Angel Reese, Ronnie and I have debated it on the program. Ronnie has been pretty clear that he thinks that she sucks at basketball. I have defended her as having dimensions of her game that are high level. I got to a point here a couple of weeks ago where I was starting to wonder if she actually sucked or not, but she has put together an impressive streak here over her last 4 games.
If I were a veteran in the WNBA, I'd be seething, and not because of Caitlin Clark. No, I'd be steaming over the fact that Angel Reese is the one plastered on magazine covers, collecting sneaker endorsements, and trending in every media outlet while contributing virtually nothing of substance on the court. She's become a master of aesthetic presence, posing on the bench, dishing out perfectly timed eye rolls, and dominating the post-game passive-aggressive quote game. If there were stats for effort to praise ratio, Reese would be putting up MVP numbers nightly. Meanwhile, players who have actually carried the league for years can't even land a local sports drink ad. That's not petty jealousy, that's championship-level salt. And honestly, it's understandable.
Well, this is very interesting, and certainly a plot twist from last season. And I'm talking about the mainstream media, the sports media, and their love affair with Angel Reese. Now, we know the media jumped through hoops, gymnastics, mental gymnastics. I mean, however you try to put it, they tried to raise up Angel Reese last year as being, of course, she's running neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year.
Let's not sugarcoat it, Angel Reese is the basketball equivalent of that group project teammate who barely contributes, makes one flashy slide, and still ends up getting credit when the project wins an award. Somehow, we've entered an era where mediocrity is not just accepted, it's celebrated. Forget draining a jumper or playing elite defense. Today, if you can throw a cryptic tweet or a statement outfit and hit a few flashy poses, you're golden. Hustle stats and PR stunts are the new metrics of success. It's a strange moment when the sport seems more invested in building influencers than basketball players.
The words from jealous WNBA players do not match up with their actions. They say one thing, and then they go and do another. And I'm starting to wonder if that same jealousy, that same resentment, I'm starting to wonder if it's building towards Angel Reese.
And here's where the awkward energy turns nuclear. The entire league is acting like Caitlin Clark walked into the WNBA and exposed a hidden truth, like she blew the lid off some great secret, except it wasn't a secret. She didn't create the ratings problem, she just walked into the room and switched the lights on. Suddenly, the cobwebs were visible. Instead of addressing the dust, the league chose to blame the flashlight. Clark didn't break anything, she just showed up, and in doing so, reminded everyone of how broken things already were. And somehow, that makes her the villain?
the game. My teammates are saying Caitlin Clark moves the needle on basketball, right? Versus Angel, who moves the needle on viewership, on interest, on engagement. No one can deny that because she's on McDonald's bags, because she has her own podcast, because she's at the Met Gala, because she's transcending the sport and she's showing girls femininity. My sister don't play basketball, no Angel Reese. My sister don't play basketball, she knows Caitlin Clark too.
Would Angel Reese be on a McDonald's bag if she was not a champion averaging a double-double?
Nah, bro, you know what, I'm gonna get up because I don't.
So you're saying
Let's talk about resentment, because it's thick enough to slice with a post-game mic. Watching some players fume on court is like seeing backup dancers getting upset that the lead is finally stealing the show, only this lead actually earned it with historic stats and game-winning shots, not viral dances and side eyes. Yet somehow, Reese is being presented as the face of the league while Clark is out there taking hits like she committed a crime by being great. It's absurd. Reese averages single digits and gets treated like royalty. Clark breaks records and gets fouled like it's open season and the refs are on vacation. The WNBA's logic feels like it tripped over its own shoelaces. And the league knows, deep down, they owe Clark everything for keeping their brand alive. She's the reason butts are in seats and streams are spiking. But instead of protecting her, they've painted her as the outsider, the audacious rookie who dared to bring talent, popularity, and marketability all at once. The audacity.
WNBA All-Star starters were released and people are pissed. This is how votes were cast. 50% was fan vote, 25% was media, and the remaining 25% was current players. One person that was not one of the 10 starters selected, Angel Reese. Now, Angel was actually 5th among frontcourt players in the fan voting, but she didn't even rank inside the top 10 in current player or media voting. The top vote getter was unsurprisingly Caitlin Clark with over 1 point.
Let's just be honest, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA wouldn't be trending on ESPN, it'd be squeezed between niche bar games and lumberjack sports. But sure, let's keep pretending that Angel Reese's unapologetic soundbites and social media savviness are fueling league growth. The only thing trending about her game right now is how often she's getting blocked. And the interviews? There's something else, like a TED Talk collided with a makeup tutorial and landed courtside. Reese is stacking endorsement deals like rebounds, and some veteran players must be watching from the shadows wondering if they should have skipped all those drills and focused on branding. But the truth is, the league isn't complaining. It's easier to market a storyline than to face the uncomfortable truth that the WNBA's decades-long marketing flop was suddenly salvaged by a sharpshooting white girl from Iowa who just happened to show up and break the system.
17-5, and you may be saying to yourself, well, how many of those 17 rebounds a game are me-bounds? Is she just standing there rebounding at all of her own misses and padding her stats? Only 6 me-bounds in the last 4 games. So even if we discount the me-bounds, she's averaging 16 boards a game over her last 4 games, and she became the first player in WNBA history to put together 4 straight 15-plus rebounds.
Let's be clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a one-woman rescue mission dragging the WNBA into the mainstream, one logo 3 at a time. Without her, all the sold-out games, the surging social media numbers, the mainstream buzz? Gone. Poof. Back to empty arenas and anonymous airtime. You know what would really shake things up? If Clark just got tired of being the league's crash test dummy and left for Europe. Because over there, they'd welcome her with open arms, tax-free contracts, and probably rename a pastry after her. She'd be lighting up scoreboards in Milan, sipping espresso, and dominating without being treated like a problem. Clark isn't following the media storm, she is the storm. And the WNBA? It's the soggy umbrella pretending to be in control. What's truly wild is how the league can't just say it out loud, yes, she's great. Yes, we need her. Instead, Clark gets passive-aggressive fouls, coded critiques, and cold shoulders. The whole thing feels like a high school hallway where being popular is a crime unless you fit a pre-approved mold.
Came into the season, the media tried to put Angel Reese amongst the best players again, and then she promptly went out and stunk it up. All right, and stunk it up. Now, she's had a couple of good games as of late, but every time she has a good game, she has a horrific game. And her field goal percentage is down this year. And imagine I just said that. Her field goal percentage has dropped this year versus last year. That's right, she's a worse shooter.
Caitlin Clark is the new girl who didn't just show up with a spotless transcript, she came armed with every scholarship, every accolade, and a highlight reel that made the league sit up straight. And suddenly, the veterans aren't smiling, they're side-eyeing her like she just took their lunch money. But fans aren't blind. They see who's hooping and who's hustling for clout. Clark's stepbacks aren't just clean, they're cold-blooded. Her court vision? Surgical. Every pass is a statement, every bucket a mic drop. But the resentment around her is no longer hidden. It's loud. It's bitter. And it's becoming a lead weight dragging the whole league down. Imagine if the WNBA put half as much energy into uplifting Clark as they do resenting her. Maybe then, she wouldn't be carrying the entire brand like it's a solo mission. Instead of propping her up as the spark this league desperately needs, they treat her like the glitch in the Matrix. But here's the real twist, Clark isn't the problem. They just can't handle that she might be the only thing still working.
For those that don't know, the WNBA released their All-Star starters for the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game hosted in Indiana this year. And baby, I'm not gonna lie, a few people don't deserve to be on here. So just to give you guys context with it, when the first returns came back on the fan voting and I saw that Skylar Diggins was ranked 24th, I was sick. Sick to my stomach because Skylar Diggins has been playing as the best point guard in the league to start out this year. It's no way she should have been ranked at the 24th spot. This is a player that is currently averaging 18 points per game, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, while shooting 46% from the floor.
If one day Clark finally says, "I'm good," and books a one-way ticket to Spain or Turkey, don't act blindsided. Don't start writing op-eds filled with regret and revisionist history. Everyone sees the writing on the wall, they just refuse to read it aloud. The truth? Without Clark, the WNBA doesn't collapse. It simply continues its slow-motion freefall. And what about Angel Reese? If she had focused more on perfecting her post moves instead of curating her brand and crafting reaction shots, she might have become a serious threat. But that takes work. That takes discipline. That takes not blaming the world every time you get benched. Instead, she's out here trying to turn charisma into championships, and that's not how the scoreboard works. She's trending, yes. But not because of her numbers, because she's a living, breathing viral moment. And in the middle of that noise, Clark is still out there getting mauled, dropping dimes, and dragging her team out of obscurity. That's the real chaos, the league pretending that flash outweighs firepower.
The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths. The deception of deceptions. La mentira de las mentiras for those who prefer Espanol. Or as fake gangster Ja Morant would say, the cap of caps. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
Funny how the same players who roll their eyes at the mention of Caitlin Clark's name are the ones defending her like she's a one-woman dynasty. They claim she's overhyped, but when she gets the ball, suddenly it's a 5-person press, like she's wearing a Steph Curry jersey in a finals game. How does a ninth best point guard get trapped at half court like she's holding the championship trophy? If Clark was just media smoke, the league wouldn't treat her like a walking apocalypse. She's not a threat because of hype, she's a threat because every arena she steps into turns into an event. ESPN covers it, fans pack in, and guess what? Those jerseys everyone's buying? They don't say Reese. Clark isn't just part of the game, she is the moment. And no matter how many fouls she absorbs or how much cold energy gets thrown her way, the truth is obvious. While others stew in resentment, Clark keeps cashing in with game-winning jumpers. She's not trying to fit in. She's rewriting the entire blueprint.
I'm gonna ask your take on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Oh, Lord.
She put her hands on the desk. Lord, give me strength.
It's, it's a really nuanced situation. I think that Caitlyn brings out this real, like, how do I say this and not get canceled? She brings out this energy from people that she needs to be protected.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese has mastered the art of being perpetually offended. Upset when benched. Upset when questioned. Upset when she's not the camera's focus while Clark is busy hitting her fourth three of the night. She plays like she's carrying a personal grudge against gravity. But here's the uncomfortable truth. No one is stopping Angel Reese from becoming great except Angel Reese. While Clark's out here taking hits and hitting shots, Reese is stuck trying to dunk on reality with empty swagger. The scoreboard doesn't care about TikTok clips. You can't win games with side eyes and sound bites. Clark walked into the league without theatrics, just results, while getting hacked like she owes everybody rent. And still, she shows up, game after game, producing like a superstar and getting fouled like a threat. Because guess what? She is one.
That double-double, she got it, sure. That title, sure. She was purposely missing shots at some point to be able to get the rebound.
Did she tell you that?
And if I saw it, and my thing is that if those were intentional shots, she shouldn't be in the WNBA at all. Yeah, I don't know about top 10.
Okay, fair, but based off of you watching her and you saying that you feel as though she were intentionally missing shots as a professional basketball player and that she shouldn't be in the WNBA if she were taking those shots anyways, whatever. All of these are feeling based. At the end of the day, the numbers are what they are, and those double-doubles have translated into championships on every level that Angel has played.
You don't have to be a fan, you just have to stop pretending it isn't real. There's no master scheme, no media manipulation. It's just raw talent generating undeniable attention. Watching Clark play while trying to discredit her is like saying the sun's not hot while sweating through your shirt. If she's mid, why are players going all out trying to stop her? Why do defenders leave every game with bruises like they've just fought through a gauntlet? The truth is, this isn't just basketball, it's exposure therapy for a league uncomfortable with its own reality. Clark is dragging her team out of the gutter with pure output. Meanwhile, Reese is nailing synchronized celebrations after scoring 4 points and 3 rebounds. The contrast is glaring, one's delivering while disrespected, the other's being rewarded for being loud. And fans? They notice. They're not fooled by branding. If Reese had chosen development over defiance, she might have been more than a marketable mascot. She could have been the rival. But instead, she's a trending moment fading in the shadow of someone who's already wearing the crown.
Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark has gotten way out of control. Angel is a great player. Caitlyn is also a great player. They're not the same type of player. And they're starting their careers.
Yeah.
Angel really upset people with how she taunted Caitlyn after the championship, as she should. And if a man did it, we wouldn't have even talked about it.
Right now, Reese is that loud background character in every movie, the one with the unforgettable outfits and none of the character development. You remember the accessories, not the arc. She's building a brand, not a resume. And brands don't hoist trophies. They just go viral. It has to be exhausting pretending you don't care about Clark while secretly watching her tape, mimicking her moves, and chasing her around the court like she's holding the last spot in the playoffs. The "she's not that good" routine is wearing thin, especially when the defensive game plans tell a very different story. Every elbow, every hard foul, every over-the-top closeout is proof. Clark is the one they fear. The league is riding her momentum like it's their only chance to stay afloat, because it is. But this won't turn into real success with media spin and petty rivalries. It'll only happen when players like Reese stop chasing attention and start chasing excellence. Until then, Clark will continue torching nets, packing stadiums, and getting treated like the queen because deep down, even her loudest critics know she already wears the crown.